the fall of Babylon in Revelation chapter 18. And let me tell you, this isn't just some ancient story. It's like a blueprint for how a global system can experience a sudden and total collapse.
I mean, just imagine it for a second. What if all international commerce, all trade, all the financial systems we rely on just stopped? Like completely ceased to exist in a single hour. That's the absolutely shocking idea at the heart of this chapter. And it's really designed to make us think about the foundations of the world we live in.
Okay, so to really get this, we've got to know who the main character is, and that's Babylon the Great. Now, super important, the text is not talking about the historical city in Mesopotamia. Nope. Babylon here is being used as this powerful symbol for a worldwide system, one that's driven by money, defined by luxury and excess, and at its core, built on corruption and injustice.
So the chapter kicks off with a bang. It's not a slow decline or a gradual decay. It's this thunderous, divine announcement. A mighty angel shows up, lights up the whole earth with his glory, and the message he brings is just absolute.
And the declaration is repeated. You notice that? Fallen, fallen. That's for emphasis. This isn't a prediction that something might happen. It's stated like it's already done. The certainty of it is kind of jarring, right? This system that seemed so permanent, so invincible, is declared to be gone. So the big question is, why?
Well, the text lays out the charges pretty clearly. This global system isn't being judged just for being successful. It's judged for how it got that success. It corrupted entire nations. It fueled the greed of political leaders. It was built on exploiting people. And its spiritual bankruptcy basically turned it into a home for every evil thing. So the key takeaway is, the judgment is a direct response to its moral and spiritual rot.
So, right in the middle of all this catastrophic judgment, a second voice from heaven cuts in. And this time, it's not a verdict, it's an urgent command for the faithful.
This is, hands down, one of the most powerful lines in the whole chapter. It's a call for separation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean physically leaving town. It's about a moral and spiritual decision to refuse to be part of the system's sins. It's about choosing a completely different set of values, a different way of living.
And this slide just illustrates the core conflict perfectly. On one side, you have Babylon's total arrogance, this system that truly believes it's invincible, that it's a queen who will never suffer. And on the other side, you've got heaven's decree, which basically says that because of that very pride, your destruction isn't going to be slow. It's going to happen in a single day.
So the system is gone, and the prophecy shifts focus to the reaction on earth. And what you hear is, it's not repentance, it's a global cry of self-pity, a worldwide meltdown over economic loss.
The text zeroes in on 3 specific groups who are mourning, and each one tells us something different about this global system. You've got the political leaders, the titans of commerce, and the people who physically moved all the goods around the planet.
First up, the kings of the earth. These are the political rulers who were in bed with the system, right? They shared in its luxuries, its power. And they're not weeping for any injustice. They're weeping for themselves, because their personal ATM has just vanished. They're standing way back, terrified, just stunned by how fast it all happened. All their backroom deals and political games, totally worthless, undone in a single hour.
Now, the merchants, this is fascinating. They're mourning because suddenly there's no one left to buy their cargo. And just look at this list. It starts with what you'd expect, gold, silver, precious stones. But as you go down the list, it gets darker and darker until it hits this absolutely chilling final item, bodies and souls of men. Wow. That reveals the horrifying truth of the whole system. It treated human beings like just another commodity on the stock exchange.
Just try to imagine what this means for them, these titans of global commerce. Their grief is maybe the most detailed in the text, and it shows you exactly what was lost. All that trade, all those complex supply chains that circled the globe, all that incredible wealth built on both luxury and exploitation. Poof. The entire global market, from precious stones to human souls, completely evaporated in just 1 hour.
And finally, you have the mariners and the sailors, the actual engine of global logistics. They're watching the smoke from a distance, seeing the great hubs of commerce just burn. Their entire livelihood, the very reason they sail the seas, has been totally wiped out.
And for this third group, the collapse is just as raw and real. They're standing on their ships, literally throwing dust on their heads in grief as they watch their world go up in flames. The great ports are silent, the shipping lanes are empty, the entire global network of transport that they powered has just been unplugged in just 1 hour.
And right here, the perspective takes a massive turn. While the whole earth is mourning its lost prophets, heaven is told to rejoice. Why? Because this isn't just about an economic collapse, it's about justice. This is the moment where the system is finally judged for its persecution of the innocent.
The chapter then wraps up with one final, incredibly powerful symbolic act that's meant to show the absolute permanence of this judgment. So picture this scene. A stone so massive, it takes a mighty angel to even lift it. This isn't a pebble, okay? This is an object of immense weight and power, and it symbolizes the weight and power of the global system itself. And its destination is the middle of the sea.
The angel declares that just like this stone is thrown down violently, that's exactly how Babylon will end. There's no soft landing, no gentle decline. It is a sudden, violent end.
And this is the final, chilling verdict. Gone. Not just broken or weakened, but erased, irretrievable. The system that defined the entire world will be utterly and completely gone, forever.
So when you boil it all down, what was the ultimate charge? It comes down to two things. First, deception. Her powerful merchants, the great men of the earth, used their economic power, what the text calls their sorcery, to mislead the entire world. And second, violence. The system was ultimately held responsible for the blood of all the people it persecuted and destroyed.
And that leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about. This ancient text is describing a symbolic system built on exploitation. That call to come out of her was for people back then, but it really forces us to ask today, what does it mean for us to identify and separate ourselves from the unjust parts of the systems we all live in now?